What is up, my dudes? We've got the Corporate Esports Association Dota 2 Spring 2019 tournament going on. Interesting. Okay, there's some different things about this replay. So this is a best of 3. We're in the playoffs now. So there's the round of 32 of the playoffs. The regular season has finally ended. Normally there's some like indication that like this is best of 3. You see some icons here. Let's quickly introduce the teams. We've got Amazon Deepdivers representing Amazon and Team Dendiate representing Google. So I'm also not sure if this is which game in the series it is. It says the creation time of this file was
10 seconds
before the other one. No, this is well. I have no idea which one's game 1 and which one's game 2. So we'll see what happens. And because obviously between games there's some adaptations in the draft, so I'm not really sure if like this is gonna be the first one or not. Anyway, I guess we'll figure it out as we go. So, alright, let's hop into the draft. We've got a first ban Dazzle from Deepdivers. Not really a hero we see very often. I will note that this game is being played on 7.21D, so it's the old patch. The rest of the tournament will be played on the new patch 7.22. The picks we see here won't transfer to the rest of the tournament. But it also means that pretty familiar with this meta by now. We've been on 7.21 for about 4 months now, so it's a little bit stale. But at least the picks should be predictable. Pango ban is pretty it's not like standard, but maybe someone on Team Dendiate plays Pango. I don't remember seeing one from their team. The Dazzle is certainly a bit of a question mark ban because Dazzle, he's not where he used to be at the start of 7.20. Not even 7.20.
Radiance ban.
Anyway, so now we have Nyx and Invoker banned. The Invoker is a bit of a question mark as well. You don't normally see Invoker in the first phase. He's got a lot of lane counters. The TA is notoriously one of them. Bloodseeker. So we normally see Invoker picked in as last pick it's a bit of a gotcha pick. A little bit of odd stuff happening already. Also, the tooltips in the game are going to be pretty confusing because they're all updated, but this is not the new version. So the mana cost in the tooltip and what you actually see may not be the same. Ember Spirit banned out for Amazon Deepdivers. This is a first phaseable hero. Makes a lot of sense. And Lion's definitely been picked a lot in this patch. He's a pretty strong hero. And Amazon Deepdivers, they open up with Drow Ranger, the hero of the patch. Thank God this hero is going away now. It's so difficult to beat this Drow Ranger. I'm pretty sure like of the last like maybe 5 weeks of games we've seen Drow Ranger gets first picked and then she wins the game. It just happens when a team's gonna learn to ban Drow Ranger. If you're the second pick team, it's your responsibility to ban Drow Ranger. So Dendiate, they're struggling a little bit with this first pick. I mean, it shouldn't really be a surprise that someone's picking Drow. It's just that hero. It's really good.
Dire team pick.
And they're gonna respond with a Shadow Demon. This is all sorts of wild. We don't really see this hero very much anymore, not since the heyday of Shadow Demon Luna. By himself, he's a little bit of an underwhelming hero, but I feel like this hero is a bit of a sleeper. Definitely has some laning phase presence with the level 1 Shadow Poison. Now that it's gone down from 55 mana to 35, the Soul Catcher has also completely changed. So it just does 40% of your current HP as damage, like straight up, which is pretty huge. But if you're a support Shadow Demon, sometimes it feels like you're not gonna get those levels in Soul Catcher that early on. Maybe if you go for like 1-for-1, maybe the right build is Shadow Demon right now. Before you would always max Disruption and then pick your like Lunas, Juggernauts, Deuces, and just throw illusions at the enemy team. But I don't know if that's really the build anymore. We'll see who Dendiate decide to pick, and maybe it'll pair well with the Shadow Demon. I don't want to see Luna though. Luna is just a pretty bad hero right now. She needs way too much farm to get involved in the game. She's very squishy, and by the time that Drow Rangers team is in your base, Luna's still not ready to fight. She needs a lot of items.
Team are now picking.
And Winter Wyvern is going to be the other support. That being said, Thompson does play Shadow Demon in mid. It's usually pretty underwhelming. I'm not really sure. It's just not very good. This hero does not scale well with items. There aren't that many items you can buy that would make this hero more useful. So Luna banned out from Amazon Deepdivers. Makes a lot of sense, but like I said, Luna I think is like a bit of a trash hero. Skywrath Mage picked up for Amazon Deepdivers. A bit of a flex pick coming out from them because he can either be the mid or the position 4. I don't think position 4 Sky is like that good anymore. His Arcane Bolt mana cost went from 70 to 90, which is a huge hit to his laning phase.
To pick.
So it's probably going to be the mid Sky, and opening with 2 cores is a bit risky. There's a Crystal Maiden ban, which does make a lot of sense because the mana regen for both of these heroes is quite nice. You can always spam those frost arrows with very little consequence once you have the CEM aura. And another great part of this Sky Math pick is you get Cold Embraced and then you get Mystic Flared. So the Cold Embrace is not going to be that saving grace for the side of Team Dendiate. Dusa banned out makes a lot of sense if this Skywrath is support. But I mean, Skywrath could definitely go mid with the Drought Aura. He gets a lot of bonus attack speed. His attack animation is pretty good as well. Although not really a hero known for right clicking. So I think the Sky is a bit of a question mark pick. We could also see Team Dendiate pick a Pugna right now and just completely shit on this Skywrath Mage. But I don't think Pugna will really fit into their draft. It also opens them up to like an anti-mage pick, but probably not going to see anti-mage and Drow Ranger in the same lineup. He could be a pretty decent Pugna game, to be honest.
Radiant team are now picking.
They're gonna choose Bristleback. I think Bristleback is like not that good right now. Bristleback used to see a lot of success. Before Silver Edge was added into the game, because then there was very little ways to get rid of the Bristleback passive. But Drow is a pretty natural Shadow Blade builder. It's always nice to have that extra escape plan, but you can also easily build that into a Silver Edge. Gives you nice stats as well, and a break mechanic for the Bristleback. And the other thing is Bristleback, his main rise to fame was during the tri-lane season. So offlaners would go solo into the against 3 heroes and just try and get as much experience as possible. They picked the Viper for the break mechanic, so Drow, she's not going to feel too pressure to go for a Silver Edge anymore. And also, it's probably gonna be the mid laner. Viper's again a little bit of a flex pick where he can go mid or off lane. I think safe lane Viper's a bit garbage, but the Viper in mid is probably the best bet. Also, now that with the Drought Aura, he's pretty souped up as well. That extra attack speed is gonna help him a lot. Sven pick up for Team Dendiate, just trying to. I mean, I tried this against not Amazon Deepdivers, but against Amazon Fishing Boat V2. I tried picking Sven Winter Wyvern, and it was rough, dude. Hopefully the Sven picks the right skill build this time. So one of the problems with the Sven that we picked, he maxed Stormbolt first, which as a position 1 Sven is like not the way to go at all. 1 point is in the Stormbolt is more than enough. You gotta max out the cleave so you can farm faster, and then max out the Warcry, because that's what you're picking the Sven for. You're picking the Sven so you can use the Warcry to help tank against the Drow Ranger. But if you max your Warcry last, it's not gonna it's not gonna come up in time. And I do kind of like the Bristleback here. He's a natural pipe builder, so this Sky and Viper are going to have a bit of a tough time trying to get some damage into the enemy team. So magic resist auras and physical damage reduction coming out. So Team Dendiate are going to be pretty tanky. We'll see what kind of mid they want to go for. Venge from Amazon Deepdivers will help buff up the damage from the Drow and the Viper, and also provide a save. So Drow and Venge, never a bad combo. So Amazon Deepdivers, I kind of think that the Skywrath is going to be position 4, and they just need a tanky offlaner to group up around. They can. Underlord is on the table. Can do pretty well against the Sven in the lane. Tidehunter's also on the table, not too bad. They still have room for Enigma. There's not. I guess they have the Winter Wyvern to always cancel any black holes, so maybe Enigma's not the right choice. I wouldn't. Yeah, so Tidehunter banned out for Team Dendiate, and Dendiate, they're looking for a mid laner who can go up against the Viper. Morphling is on the table if they have someone who can play Morphling, but don't always have to. Can't always expect teams to have Morphling players. Is pretty difficult to play. So Sniper banned out for Amazon Deepdivers. This is a pretty smart ban because Sniper would have completely ruined Deepdivers' day. They can still go for like Lena. It wouldn't be too bad. They can open with Bloodseeker. What is going on here? So it's going to be the offlane Viper and a mid Bloodseeker, most likely. But it's also like flexible. I think Bloodseeker in not mid is not the greatest. He definitely is level, so they go with Lena, who can do okay against the Bloodseeker as well. She's gonna get denied pretty hard against the Bloodseeker though. I'm not really sure if Lena was the right choice. It's good against Viper, but not really against Bloodseeker. This isn't 7.22, so Rupture is still non-lethal, but that did change in the next patch. It's a pretty big buff. It's nice to have that back though. It was pretty annoying that it wasn't lethal before. But we'll see how Team Dendiate goes. I think, I mean, I gotta favor Deepdivers just because they have a Drow, right? You can't bet against the Drow in this patch. So I think it is going to be position 4 Sky and position 3 Viper. So Viper against the Sven, pretty annoying for the Sven. You just drop those Nether Toxins on the creep wave. It's difficult for the Sven to come in. It also cancels his cleave, so he's not going to be able to pressure the Viper by just getting a cleave damage on him, which is a big way of how Sven can win his lane, is to just it's kind of like how TA wins the lane. She chips you down with the side blades, but Sven, he chips you down with the greater cleave. This is a nice Drow haircut right there. And let's hop into the game. I do think Deepdivers have a minor advantage. They have the Drow Ranger. But let's introduce the teams on the side of Amazon Deepdivers. We got Anathorn on the Drow Ranger, Villadin on the offlane Bloodseeker, Kid Wonderful on the Skywrath Mage, Wildebeest 561 on the Vengeful Spirit, and Bazinga on the Viper. On the side of Google Team Dendiate, we have Do Not Want on the Sven, Pos 5 on the Pos 5 Shadow Demon, fitting for his name. Dodo Noob on the Bristleback, probably not a noob though. Explo on the Lena, and YH Victor on the Winter Wyvern. So they picked the Lena into the Viper to counter him, and they get the matchup they want. This is a bit of a gift in the hands of Team Dendiate. If the Bloodseeker went mid instead, I think this would be a lot harder of a lane for Lena. Lena generally wins her lane by spamming out the enemy Lena with Dragon Slaves, but Bloodseeker doesn't really care, just heal up with the Blood Rage. And Lena will be able to get the Obs Ward down first. Viper still holding onto his, so it's going to be pretty easy for the Lena to see where the Viper drops his. But she doesn't have vision of this high ground, so maybe the Viper will be able to drop down the Obs Ward before the Lena is able to spot him. But he's also left it in this like slot, so sometimes you can click on the enemy hero and see that they don't have a item slot, so not all lined up perfectly. Maybe the Skywrath is the offlane. She's got 3 Mantle of Intelligences. No, it's got to be the Bloodseeker. I think Sky as an offlane is. If someone needs to buy like the offlane items. Nice high five over there. The Shadow Poison comes out early on. 3 stacks on the Skywrath Mage. The 5th isn't going to make it on. The 5th is where all the damage comes from. You get that nice multiplier. I can't remember the exact numbers. It's like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. But the Skywrath is a pretty fast hero, so it's going to be difficult for Shadow Demon to get the remainder, like the 5th stack, because Sky can always just back out. So Sky and Shadow Demon and Sven up against the Sky and Bloodseeker. So the Bloodseeker doesn't really care too much about this cleave harass. Once the Sven learns it, he just always get the blood rage. It's gonna have the Shadow Demon and the Skywrath Mage duking it out 1v1, and it's definitely very Skywrath favored. Although this reduced Shadow Poison cost is pretty nice. Used to cost 55 at all levels, now it costs 35. Excuse me. So Drow and Venge up against the Bristle and the Winter Wyvern. There's probably not going to be too much happening here. The Drow might feel some pressure once the Bristle hits level 3, but until then, it's a pretty free lane for her. And yeah, just Lina spamming out that Dragon Slave. Actually, Bloodseeker managing to get the kill onto the Sven. The other lane's getting pretty low, and then just allowing the Bloodseeker to get a ton of attack and move speed. The Sky getting really low, but now instead the Shadow Demon will end up going down. Kid Wonderful snatches the kill away from his core. It's a bit greedy from him, but it's very well worth it. He baited the Shadow Demon in. So they just need to keep focusing on getting damage on the enemy team. But this lane is pretty rough for the Viper once Lina gets more levels in the Dragon Slave. 2 points already is going to hurt a lot. And Lina going for a fast bottle as well. She needs to focus on getting rune control. There's an arcane rune at bottom. No one sees it yet, but she does have the ward to know that the rune isn't there. And Viper hasn't left the lane yet. So Lina gonna look to spam out this lane and then pick up the rune afterwards. She's got her bottle delivered as well. So she's gonna be topped up on mana the whole time. Shouldn't feel too bad about spamming these Dragon Slaves. She doesn't have any high ground vision to see where the Viper is though, but manages to clip him anyway. It's pretty fortuitous for the Lina, and now she's got her bottle. She can go for the Arcane Rune at the bot rune. So excellent control from the Lina. She should know the rune is at bot, but hasn't left it yet. Maybe the wave's not being pushed in enough. Kid Wonderful gets the kill onto the Shadow Demon. Lina probably would have seen the Viper put that ward down. They both should know that the rune is still there. None of them have left the lane to go for it. Lina should just spam this lane out and then go for the rune. But she's going to take that last hit. She's going to walk up the hill. It's pretty dangerous for her. Actually, the different skill build coming out of the Viper, not the max nether toxin that we normally see, just trying to get an early points in the poison attack to try and capitalize on this right click damage that Drow is giving him. I still think the nether toxin is the way to go, even if you have Drow. The nether toxin just helps you farm so much faster. You can get that early Atos, early Greaves. And you definitely want it against the Bristleback, because the break is what you pick this Viper for. It doesn't look like the duration goes up though. So maybe like just 1 point is more than enough for the Viper. He's going to focus on spamming those poison attacks on the Lina. Couple uphill misses. That must be frustrating. So Storm Bolt onto the Skywrath Mage, but he's going to be okay. Another Arcane Bolt comes out. The Blood Ray comes out from the Bloodseeker, but it looks like the Sven is going to be in a lot of trouble here. He's going to get taken out. There's no points of disruption for the Shadow Demon yet, so the Sven will get run down. One more hit will finish him off. He doesn't have phase boost yet. The Salve comes out, and the Sven will manage to save himself. Bloodseeker just healing up. Meanwhile, the Skywrath in a lot of trouble. One more poison stack. He's just going to go down anyway. Doesn't even need the fifth. Well, Lina never got the butt rune, but she picked up the top DD rune. It's pretty good for her. She can definitely pressure this tower a little bit once the siege creep comes. And meanwhile, Drow managed to get a kill on the Winter Wyvern. It's not a difficult kill for her. Gonna go for a Dragon Lance, pretty standard stuff. This is a pretty cool Arcane Bolt cosmetic. It's kind of like a bug of some sort. Like an insect bug. 5 minute bounty runes. It's going to be 3 going the way of Team Dendiate. And just dropping the ball a little bit. The Venge wasn't in a position to contest, but it could have been really easy for Venge to get both, because she has the magic missile. Well, the beast is going to discover that they're not there anymore. He's failed in his duties to get the bounty runes. Lina, her DD rune is going to expire soon, so see how much pressure she decides to put on the tower. Maybe going to wait for the next wave so that she has a double wave coming into the tower. But Viper smartly pulls the creep wave into the tower, so then she's not going to get a double wave. She's level 6 now, so is the Viper. Viper's in a lot of danger if he gets caught out again, but he will staff up. Lina is about to pop her DD, or she's going to be forced to pop her DD soon. So it's going to get pretty scary for the Viper very soon. Hopefully the Viper's paying attention. Meanwhile, top lane, the Skye getting pretty low, getting chased down. The Warcry comes out, Skye, he's going to make it out. And the DD comes out onto Lina, Fort's going to come out to try and protect the tower a little bit. Unfortunately not using her own Fort. I think that would have been pretty useful to save the catapult. Alright, well, Bloodseeker just running in, but he's in a lot of danger. He's going to go down to the tower. One more hit will finish him off, and the Shadow Demon actually finishes him off. So getting a little bit gung-ho there. Also, 0-1-2. The Disruption, I think he should definitely get at least 1 point in Disruption just to have a save, but no, he'll probably pick it up when he reaches level 4. But the 2 points in the Shadow Poison, he's trying to double down on getting more damage. I do like this a lot, but I think the Soul Catcher is probably a little bit better. I'm not too sure. I haven't played Shadow Demon for like a few years now because Hero he kind of fell off. So Viper's doing a lot better than I expected in this lane. I think this Lina's not being quite aggressive enough. But Drow on the other hand having a pretty good game. The Bristleback only has 9 last hits. It's Venge she's in a lot of trouble. Gets the side hits the Bristleback on the side with the missile. So Venge will go down here, but it's just the Vengeful Spirit. The Drow still going uncontested in the lane. Actually, 2 wards jumped here. One of them's gonna run out. And Drow, she's gonna get the Winter Wyvern kill. It's forced to Cold Embrace. Looks like it's gonna be okay. Skye's coming down here, and the Winter Wyvern is just gonna walk out of there. Concussive shot onto the Bristleback. He's getting pretty low. He's dropping a lot of quill stacks, but the Drow will eventually take him out. Actually, the Skywrath manages to pick up the last hit. A third Null Talisman coming out from the Skywrath Mage. He's pretty doubling down on this. Kind of feels like a mid build, but he's not in mid, so a little bit odd. We'll hopefully see Viper go for the Atos build. Seems like the flavor of the month. Lina gonna go for a phase boots to get that extra bit of damage and armor. So pos 5, he gets spotted out by the enemy. The double damage gets popped by the Lina. She just punched the Bloodseeker to death. And meanwhile the Venge is gonna go down to the Lina as well. Double kill for Lina. Nice rotation from her. She can TP back mid if she wants, but then she'll have no mana. So it's gonna be a bit tough. She's probably gonna shrine up here with pos 5 to get some efficiency. The Viper did put a little bit of pressure on the mid tower, but a fort will stop anything more coming out. So Lina, I wonder if she's going to go for this game. They spike up. She has money for phased boots, but hasn't bought it yet. Be pretty nice for her going into this gang. They're going to look for Viper. A disruption into Light Striker rate would be a pretty easy kill. But looks like they're going back top. Sven actually goes down in the meantime. He gets ruptured and just taken out. They didn't have a TP. He could have just TP'd out of there. They had no stuns. Disruption comes out onto the Skywrath Mage. The Light Striker rate as well. No Laguna Blade, but Skye, he's not going to make it out of there. Lina taking a bit of heat from the Bloodseeker, but she'll dodge the Blood Rite and she'll be okay. And Viper getting all this time to pressure the mid tower. Lina's left the lane for quite a while, so this Viper pulling very far ahead on levels. Lina about to hit level 8, but the Viper's already level 9. Gonna go for that Atos as expected, and Drow pushing the bot lane by herself as well. She's been also completely uncontested for most of this game. This kind of feels like how most Drow games are. It feels like no matter how much pressure you put on the Drow, you can't really pressure her, and then she just goes to the jungle anyway if you do. No rupture on Bloodseeker yet, so it's going to be 2 for 2 bounty runes. Drow doing her civic duty and picking up the bounty runes for her team.
Take that.
But this game's pretty close actually. It's 1k gold advantage. But we'll see this Drow accelerate pretty quickly. She's got a nice hard camp stack as well. The courier is heading towards the Drow Ranger. Gus comes out onto the Bristleback, but Drow's in a lot of trouble now. The disruption comes out to cancel the TP, and Drow's got to go down here. This is going to be a slow and painful death for her, but she will eventually go down. Nice recovery for the Bristleback. The silence comes out, but they still manage to get the kill anyway. Bristleback might have to give his life here. He will die. Well, Bloodseeker, he had a lot of speed, but I'm not sure what he did with it. Lena's back mid, but the Viper almost level 10 now against level 8 Lena. It's kind of what happens when you roam too much. You definitely need to like make your rotations quickly and then go back to the lane, because otherwise like you end up falling behind the enemy mid who's just been sitting there and free farming. I think the math has changed on kills a little bit in the next patch, so it's rewarding ending kill streaks a lot more. It's a bit more of that comeback factor. Skye, he's level 7 now, 4 points in Arcane Bolt and the ulti as well. He's got to go for his own ATOS. And Viper, he's about 2/3 of the way to his ATOS. So Bristleback, we'll see what he wants to go for. I do think maybe the pipe first is the right option here. There's a lot of magic damage on the side of Amazon Deepdivers. The Shadow Demon, he's gonna almost get completely blown up. Manages to salve up a little bit to save himself. I don't think the Venge is gonna be able to catch up to him. And meanwhile, the Skywrath goes down. Gets run down by the Bristleback. He has no points in Warpath, but he does now. They got that kill without Warpath as well. Skye giving a pretty decent amount of experience. He's level 7. Rupture onto the Sven. He's pretty screwed. He is not able to TP out either. The God Straight comes out with the Warcry. He can be able to turn this around. A couple hits onto the Drow, but she's gonna go down. The Bristleback able to get out of the Nether Toxin, so not gonna be broken forever. He's doing a lot of, he's sending out a lot of quills, but he will eventually go down. Shadow Demon going down as well, getting run down by the Bloodseeker. Lena T2P'd into her death. A complete disaster for Team Dendiate. That's playing to win, baby. Bloodseeker going for a Blade Mail, some pretty standard stuff on him. Just be that nuisance. Blade Mail is basically like the invincibility button, because even if you take damage, you don't feel too bad about it. Also gives us some much needed armor. He doesn't have that much base agility compared to other in-heroes. Like the Drow, for instance, has 11 armor already. Could also be a symptom of him not buying that many agi items, but he's also got the phase boots now. But he's done with the Blade Mail. Be pretty big if he manages to reflect the Laguna Blade. But also the Sven is going to be pretty annoyed by the Blade Mail. The concussive shot and silence comes out onto the Lena. She might get ruptured here. She's in a lot of trouble. The Mystic Flare comes out, but the Winter's Curse will stop the Laguna Blade and from doing any damage to the Skywrath Mage. Bit of an anti-combo there. Drow Ranger just gonna go for... She got disrupted, but then not much that the Shadow Demon can do. The Blood Rain comes out, hits all 3 heroes, so Bloodseeker getting a lot of speed out of that. This is a bit of a bloodbath here. Magic Missile comes out onto the Bristleback, but they're going to disengage. Drow, she's probably just going to go back to the jungle at this point. This is pretty scary to push uphill, but they don't have the Winter's Curse anymore. Zillazin just running down the Sven, but he doesn't have... The stun comes out, the Blade Mail reflects the damage. This is a max stun Sven, so again, I don't think this is the right build at all on Sven. He's pretty far behind right now. He's struggling a little bit in last hits. He's one of the bottom cores in the game. The Bristleback, the only one doing worse than him as a core. So he needs time to catch up, and the stun doesn't help you at all. You gotta get the cleave.
Under fire.
15-minute boundaries are coming up. It looks like Shadow Demon is in position to take this one, and Sven should be able to get this one, so it's gonna be 2 for 2, but Skywrath actually manages to... He's gonna be able to sneak this one under the nose of the Sven. The Stormhammer comes out, but he doesn't have enough mana for a God Strength. He doesn't want to pop the Mango, and Sven in a little bit of trouble. He takes a lot of burst from the Skye, but manages to walk out of the Mystic Flare. He is pressured pretty hard. He manages to shrine up so he doesn't die there, and Skye is completely out of mana. It's time to go home. Lena gotta go for a Yule's, pretty standard stuff. Maybe go for a Shadow Blade next, but she's also quite far behind. All 3 cores from the side of Amazon Deepdivers, topping the net worth chart, so they're off to a pretty great start. 15 minutes in the game, 5k gold advantage. I think the XP advantage would be similar. 6k XP advantage there. Win rate's actually pretty high. I feel like it's a bit higher than it should be, but the Sven not going for maxing out Greater Cleave first would be pretty hard for him to catch up. Also, the Warcry, which is one of the main reasons to pick the Sven, is not being maxed out. Magic Missile onto the Shadow Demon. And Venge in a little bit of trouble, but the Bloodseeker's coming in from the side. He drops a Rupture onto the Winter Wyvern. Gonna get a nice Blood Right as well. Laguna Blade comes out onto the Vengeful Spirit, but doesn't finish her off. She's gonna go down before she finishes off the Venge. She will get the kill eventually, but that's a 4-for-1 from the side of Team Amazon Deepdivers. I keep forgetting their names. There's no names in the... Oh, there is. Okay. No, maybe? This is the coaching panel. What is that about? I haven't even seen that before. There's no names. I just always forget about it. But yeah, I mean a 4-for-1, 7k gold advantage now. They got an extra 2k out of that. They're gonna get this mid tower as well. Viper hitting like a machine gun. 83 bonus attack speed. And Drow gonna go for her own Hurricane Pike now. It's gonna be very difficult to take her out now. She can also meme her Hurricane Pike by using it on a ruptured target. It'd be pretty memey.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
Do not want. He's going for this tower. He's got max cleave now, so it's probably time to hit the jungle actually. Gonna go for an Echo Saber. He's almost done with the Echo Saber. Gust onto the Shadow Demon. He's in a lot of trouble. Nice Cold Embrace will save him, but he's not going to be able to get a disruption off on the Drow. The Arctic Burn comes out from the Winter Wyvern. Doesn't give you any high ground vision. The Sky coming in from behind, taking out the Shadow Demon. Atos now onto the Winter Wyvern as well. Viper Strike as well for good measure. The Bristleback in a lot of trouble. He's broken by the Nether Toxin. He'll go down as well. Another easy sweep for Amazon Deepdivers.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
I'm not really sure what they expected to happen there. They don't have any way to catch the Drow Ranger. This disruption is nice, but then there's still no follow-up. And Shadow Demon... Well, I guess the Sven was on the way, but Shadow Demon didn't manage to get the disruption off, so the rest of Team Amazon Deepdivers, they were able to reinforce and then get the kills.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
So why next on the Bloodseeker? He's probably going to go for this status resistance build. You get the Satanic next with 41% status resistance. Just run through the fight and not give a damn about stuns, because you're only stunned for like 3 seconds. And the longest stun is probably the Winter's Curse. Lasts for 4 seconds, but 41% status resist only lasts for 2 and a little bit. Rupture onto the Sven. The Venge is eventually going to go down here. Blade Mail activated after the Red Stag Strike away. And Lena's going to go down here. Bloodseeker on a rampage. He's got a ton of move speed. But will eventually take down the Sven. He's lost all his move speed. Gets Winter's Cursed by the Viper. But the Viper doesn't really do much to him. Meanwhile, the... Shadow Demon will eventually go down, and Winter Wyvern in a lot of trouble as well. He uses the Cold Embrace, but the Skywrath Mage and a Blood Right. Unstoppable on the Skywrath Mage, and 12k gold advantage. This game is looking very rough for Team Dendiate.
Dire's top tower is destroyed.
Medallion next on the Venge. Atos done on the Sky, so he can go for solo pickoffs now if he wants. There's not very many heroes who can survive the burst. Only the Sven and the Bristleback. Everyone else is going to instantly die to the Skywrath. Although Lena does have a Yule, so she can save herself for the Mystic Flare. It'd be pretty nice for her. Oh, Wildebeest managing to get the Bounty Rune away from the Bristleback. If she had a second swap, it could have gotten both, but a bit unfortunate that... Wow, actually, Skywrath manages to finish off the Bristleback. I guess Bristleback not getting stunned, so he couldn't turn around there. Viper in deep. His Viper strikes the Shadow Demon. The Shadow Demon's going to eventually go down here. He gets killed by the Blood Right. Meanwhile, Winter Wyvern gets gusted and taken down by the Drow Ranger. More death for the side of Team Dendiate. This game looking very grim.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
Bazinga almost done with the Greaves as well. 800 gold away, and after that they're going to be very, very difficult to kill. We've always got the swap from Venge to save people as well. Gaben probably thinks this is 100% now. It definitely is. Boots of Travel almost done now on the Sky, so he's going to be able to join any fight he pleases. He can also always use his TP scroll to go home, and then use the BTs to get into the fight with full mana. So he's not going to ever show up to these fights again with no mana. It's pretty nice for him. TP is home though. Yeah, he needs to get more mana, but he does have the BTs to TP in. You get the T2 tower at bot on the side of Deepdivers. Atos comes out again onto the Winter Weapon. He manages to get a Winter's Curse off before he goes down. Drought manages to get swapped away before this Storm Bolt comes out, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Meanwhile, Lina uses the Laguna Blade to take down the Drought Ranger, but now Bloodseeker, he's on a rampage. He gets an ultra kill beyond godlike. It's just the Lina left. Not able to get the boost speed to catch up to her. And they're in the high ground. They do manage to kill the Drow Ranger, but at what cost? They lose 4 heroes for it. The Venge actually really low now. I like this Venge build, the 144 is definitely the way to go. Max stun, not very good. The stun duration doesn't go up very much. It's kind of the same thing as Fen. The other abilities just help you fight a lot better, but also help you farm a lot better. Like the stun, like it gives you a little bit more burst, but the burst isn't the important part here. So shrines are now open. They managed to take that tier 3. This shrine's gonna go down pretty fast here. It doesn't look like Dendiate really wants to contest here. Not really in a position to. They don't have Winter's Curse anymore, and this Lina, she's going for a 4-star, which is a little bit odd. Not a Shadow Blade, so her scaling is gonna go down the drain. So it's almost level 15. Light Striker ready to set up after the disruption. The Vapor will go down. He has Greaves though. He manages to Greaves up, and the Venge swaps him out. The Winter's Curse comes out onto the Drow Ranger, onto the Bloodseeker. But Bloodseeker, he's got like 32 armor. He's not going to go down to physical attacks. Winter Wyvern will go down in the meantime. Double kill for Bazinga, and the Lina getting chased down here. Blood Rate comes out as well. Nothing the Lina can do to dodge it. And Bloodseeker getting a lot of speed out of this. He gets disrupted again. But meanwhile, the Skywrath Mage will slowly take down the Lina with chucking her down with Arcane Bolts. The Sven instantly melts to the Skywrath and Viper. Buyback from the Lina. The Winter Wyvern is up in 6 seconds. They're going to take this range Rex. It might be a bit risky to go for the mid Rex. Sky has already left, but Sky, he's got the boost of travel now. He can come back with full mana. The Mystic Flare is back up as well, so he's basically at full strength with his fight. It's a big problem with the Sky is usually that you run out of mana and fall completely flat, but now this Lina, she's completely screwed, gets Mystic Flare again. That's a dieback on the Lina. The Skywrath will give up his life for this. He's going to go down to the tower here, but in the meantime, his team managing to get the mid tower. Going to get the racks as well. Water Beast, he's looking for, I'm not really sure what is going on here. He's almost dead. He's going to go down to the tower, it looks like. Alright, never mind. He's just falling around a bit. The Sky did end up going down there, but he managed to grab the Lina before he went down. Rupture onto the Sven. The Sven is screwed here. He gets silenced, and beyond godlike on Zillidan. He's having a great game. This game is looking pretty over. Sven and Lina, they both died back there. The Bristleback getting broken. The Cold Embrace will help him keep him alive for a little bit, but will eventually go down. And Mega Creeps. So we'll see when Dendiate want to call it GG. This is very much over. GG is finally called. Does not want this game to go on any longer. So this was a pretty rough game for Team Dendiate. You know, you let the Drow go through the draft and then you get wrecked. Not much more I can say about this. They did okay in the mid lane. I feel like Lina could have been a little bit more aggressive with she could have gotten the Arcane Rune at bot and then also the double damage as well. Looks like this game had coaches for some reason. This is Dota Plus nonsense. It's Battle Pass nonsense. Not really sure this is what this is about. But a pretty convincing victory for Amazon Deepdivers. Pick the Drow Ranger, win the game, casual 30k gold lead, 25 minutes into the game, and hopefully Team Dendiate can respond with a slightly more aggressive draft in the second game. Or just ban the Drow Ranger, honestly. Or maybe they'll pick the Drow Ranger themselves. We'll see what's in store in the next game and what's in store.